So this message is to all men, all XY chromosomes. The gig is up, guys. We see you, all races of women. We see you. We know what you all are. And I'm going to be the first person, if not the only person, to tell an extreme truth that's going to seem like it's just a theory. But you all are acting it out, so here it is. You all are aliens. The reason why they keep on hollering alien this, alien that, it's a bunch of aliens that's walking around that have human body suits, and they're called men. Men do not get women pregnant with men. All of our eggs start off as female, and men's sperm mutates them into male. The only reason why men have an X chromosome is because they come from us. They come from us. It's because our blood is in them. We birth them. We give them life. We don't necessarily create them or make them. We just give them life because we are hosting them in our wombs once they get mutated. Okay? The androgen, that's what it is. And it's funny because androgen sounds a lot like did he bite you?
No, he didn't.
He scratched you? Okay, one second. Oh, 1 second, y'all. Okay, so this whole thing, androgen, it sounds a lot like android, Andromeda. Like, I just keep thinking about those words. And they may not have any relation, but this is just how I figure out stuff. Stop licking the bed. So, when you think about, again, once I already kind of said this in one video and I'm going to go through it some more. When you think about dark triad traits, when you think about psychopathy, when you think about manipulation and narcissism, these are all things that men heavily have issues with. And they don't ever want to really address it. Those are not things that men really address. And that's the sad part about it, because they're literally walking amongst us. Psychology has come up with all of these personality disorders, character traits, and they've come up with names, and then they try to say that men and women suffer from these things. Well, I venture to say that men don't suffer from them. Men are them, and women do suffer from them if and when they become extremely traumatized. And that's kind of what that is. Because it's not natural for women to just randomly have these things. Something very drastic has to happen to a woman for her, or a girl, for her to just exhibit these kinds of traits. In my opinion, the worse the male gene is, and it's a girl, I think they can definitely pass it to them. But look at some of our sons. A lot of our sons were born and never really spent a significant amount of time with or around their actual biological father. And yet they actually come out having similar ways of acting, to the point where it would almost be scary because they've never even met him. They've never even been around him. The man abandoned the woman way before the child was even able to be impressed upon by the dad. And yet they come out acting just like them. These dudes are really, really scary. And I know that some women like to think that, I can get with this one and I can go from that one, and let me try a different race. Let me try a different one that's educated this time. Let me try one that has more money this time. Let me try one that's humble and who is just making a decent living and living a simple life. The character traits of the dark triad are going to be there. They're going to show. And the real tea here is men have to wear this mask, kind of like aliens do. If they were, remember The Simpsons, when the people who were in politics, I think it might have been the presidents, when their head was snatched off, their human head suit was snatched off, they were actually aliens. That's indicative of the mask. These men wear masks, and they're trying so hard to convince us that they are not like this. But it never fails that every time we get into a relationship with one of them, every time we're around one of them, excuse me, who they are comes out. Who they really are is revealed. I've had women tell several stories, and I have my own, of seeing the truth behind men's eyes, like seeing their eyes change, the energy changing in the room when that entity that they really truly are at their core manifests right in front of you. Many women have had stories of seeing dark shadows that have been standing right by men, that have been, on the man, around him, especially at night. Men even tell you, I've heard several men say that they're fighting demons. They're fighting shape-shifting. That's what it really is. They're trying so hard to not change or morph into who they really truly are, and they can't help it. And it's almost like a shapeshifter when they get around water, or when they get around kids, or when they get around whatever their prey is. They have to fight really hard to stay in their fake form. Well, that's how men are when they get around women and children. They have to fight really hard to stay in their fake form, which is a quote-unquote good man, a quote-unquote decent guy, a quote-unquote nurturer, or just an overall good person. They have to fight really, really hard, because when they get around their natural prey, they really start to malfunction, because they know what they want. They know what they desire. They know what their source is. And unfortunately, their source is you being in pain, you being in fear, you trusting them and being completely unassuming that they are nothing like who you think they are. So the gig is up, the secret is out. I will be continuing to make these videos. I have a boatload of things that I need to read. I was going to go live today, but it's Thursday, and I'm trying to get my rest so that I can make it through this last shift for the week at my other job. And then come tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, I will be a lot more free to go into this a lot more. I'm at a point with this whole situation with men where I can't see them any other way. I can't go back to thinking that maybe I'm tripping. I can't go back to thinking that maybe I'm over exaggerating, or maybe I'm looking too much into it, because it doesn't matter. You will always see the same exact thing from them. They will always shapeshift. They will always show you who they really are on any level, at any time, with anybody. And so I think it's time for that to be circulated so that women can really fully wake up. But with that, there's going to come some obstacles that we're already seeing. And that is that the male behavior, once they realize that we see who they are, they may start coming out more. And it may, their true forms and their true selves, they may start coming out more, and it actually may be a threat to many of us. It is going to be a threat to many of us, because the source that they feed off of, that they traumatize, that they terrorize women, is no longer going to be as accessible and available to them. And so what are they going to do? You already know, because this is what they've always done. This is not the first go around here where women have massively waken up to the fact that we are living under a dome in a artificial constructed society with our natural predators. This is not the first time. There's nothing new under the sun. And on some kind of biological level, they know this. But I guess we'll just see what happens. But just see them for what they are. Move accordingly.